April 4th has witnessed several significant events in history, including political, social, and cultural changes. From the birth of legendary artists to the assassination of iconic leaders, this day has left an indelible mark on world history. In this article, we will explore some of the notable events that happened on April 4th throughout history. 1581, Francis Drake completes circumnavigation of the world. English explorer Sir Francis Drake completed the first circumnavigation of the world, becoming the first Englishman to achieve the feat. The voyage, which began in 1577, lasted for almost 3 years, and Drake's crew of 5 ships covered over 60,000 miles. Drake's journey played a crucial role in establishing England as a naval power, paving the way for future colonization and trade. 1812, earthquake devastates Caracas, Venezuela. One of the most devastating earthquakes in recorded history hit Caracas, Venezuela, killing thousands of people and destroying much of the city. The earthquake was estimated to have a magnitude of 7.7 on the Richter scale, and the destruction was felt as far away as Bogota, Colombia. 1818, Congress decides the U.S. flag will have 13 stripes and 1 star for each state. On April 4, 1818, the United States Congress decided that the American flag would have 13 stripes, representing the original 13 colonies, and 1 star for each state added to the Union. This decision standardized the design of the American flag that we still use today. 1841, William Henry Harrison dies after 1 month in office. William Henry Harrison, the 9th President of the United States, became the first U.S. President to die in office, just 1 month after his inauguration. Harrison's death was attributed to pneumonia, which he contracted during his inauguration speech in cold and wet weather. Harrison's presidency was the shortest in American history. 1850, Los Angeles is incorporated. Los Angeles, California, was incorporated as a city, marking a significant moment in the history of the American West. The city has since grown to become the second largest in the United States, with a population of over 4 million people. 1865, Abraham Lincoln visits Richmond, Virginia. On April 4, 1865, President Abraham Lincoln visited the Confederate capital of Richmond, Virginia, just days after it fell to Union forces. His visit was met with a mixture of celebration and suspicion, as many Southerners saw him as an enemy of their cause. Lincoln's visit was a symbolic moment in the end of the Civil War. 1928, Maya Angelou is born. Maya Angelou, the legendary American poet, memoirist, and civil rights activist, was born on April 4, 1928. Angelou's work explores themes of racism, identity, and personal growth, and her writing has inspired generations of readers and writers. 1949, NATO was established. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, was established on April 4, 1949, as a military alliance of Western nations during the Cold War. The alliance was created to provide collective security against the Soviet Union and its allies, and it remains one of the most significant military alliances in the world today. 1949, 12 nations sign the Benelux Treaty. The Benelux Treaty was signed on April 4, 1949, by Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg, establishing an economic union between the 3 countries. This treaty laid the foundation for the European Union and marked a major step towards greater cooperation and unity in Europe. 1960, Senegal and Mali gain independence. On April 4, 1960, Senegal and Mali gained independence from France, marking a turning point in the struggle for African independence. These events were part of a broader movement towards decolonization in Africa and signaled a new era of self-determination for African nations. 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated. Civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee, on April 4, 1968. King was a leading figure in the American civil rights movement, advocating for racial equality and social justice. His assassination was a shock to the nation and led to widespread unrest and protests. 1973, the World Trade Center is completed. The World Trade Center, a complex of skyscrapers in Lower Manhattan, New York City, was completed on April 4, 1973. At the time, it was the tallest building in the world and a symbol of American economic power. The World Trade Center was tragically destroyed in the September 11 attacks in 2001. 1975, Microsoft is founded. Microsoft Corporation, one of the world's largest software makers, was founded on April 4, 1975, by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. The company's initial success was in developing software for personal computers, and it went on to become a dominant force in the technology industry. 1994, Kurt Cobain commits suicide. Kurt Cobain, the lead singer of the American rock band Nirvana, was found dead in his Seattle home on April 4, 1994. Cobain's death was ruled a suicide by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was a major figure in the grunge music scene of the early 1990s and remains a cultural icon today. 2002, Israeli military forces enter West Bank. On April 4, 2002, Israeli military forces entered the West Bank as part of a crackdown on Palestinian militants. The operation, known as Operation Defensive Shield, led to intense fighting between Israeli forces and Palestinian militants, and resulted in widespread destruction and loss of life. April 4 has been a day of both triumph and tragedy throughout history. From the completion of historic voyages to the birth of influential figures and the founding of major corporations, this day has been marked by significant events that have shaped our world. It is a reminder that history is constantly being made, and that every day has the potential to be significant. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like and share the video. See you tomorrow.